Isimangaliso Wetland Park, it's on a drive to reinvent itself by offering investors across a chance to invest in business opportunities in that park. Now, of course, this comes on the backdrop of the investment summit. The aim is to showcase the present potential of tourism offerings. You'll understand or remember that the park has been in the spotlight recently with illegal occupations in some parts. ENC's Letiwe Ndluli is covering that story for us. Letiwe, thanks very much indeed for your time. So, I mean, look, this park has been in the spotlight. We've seen some illegal occupations. Environment-wise, it hasn't been such a great time for the park with pressures from all sides. What's the plan now from investors and authorities going forward? And firstly, what's the value environmentally of this park?
Well, certainly that has been the question today during this investment summit. A lot of investors are actually interested in knowing what is going to happen to those land invasion issues that Isimangaliso is currently dealing with, and also the poaching troubles that we've heard over the years. You'd remember that there's been numerous arrests that have been made when it comes to poachers who occupy some of the wetlands areas. And some investors during the Q&A that is being currently heard in the summit have raised those questions. They're very worried about the land invasion issues that the wetlands is currently dealing with. Of course, the wetland park stretches across the coastline of KZN, especially in northern KZN, and it houses some of Africa's diverse animals. I'm now joined by the CEO of Isimangaliso, Mr. Sibusiso Bukhosini, and my first question for you, Mr. Bukhosini, is regarding the land invasion process. We know those issues have been stemming for years now. Take us through what are some of the issues that you've dealt with, and what are your plans to assure investors that this will be taken care of?
No, thank you very much. I think first and foremost, our investment in terms of the approach around the issue of invasion is the fact that we have invested in something called a stakeholder engagement and management strategy. And in that, we are working very closely with a variety of stakeholders. That will be your land claimants, that will be people who are abutting the protected area or our park who may not necessarily be claimants, Amakosi, the traditional leaders, and a number of role players. What we deal with there is we create a platform wherein we engage with these role players as well as stakeholders to discuss issues that may be affecting them. The issue of land in particular, as we all know, in South Africa is a big issue. So there will be those incidences where you will find communities trying to invade because they say we need land for agricultural purposes, we need land for a number of different purposes. However, what we have come to an understanding with a number of role players through this stakeholder engagement and management strategy and the fora that we have is that we have now reached an understanding to say if we do find a situation wherein there is a land invasion, we will have to go and engage those people and find out if we can find what are the reasons and what are the alternative means to attend to deal with those issues that are pressing them, be it agricultural or otherwise. So that is what we have done so far. But over and above that, the leaders of the communities have also demonstrated to us that it is mainly linked to the socio-economic issues because communities living adjacent to the park are very poor in general. So what we've done is that we have created a number of SMME opportunities or business opportunities for those communities, but also we have employment programs. For instance, as I talked to you, last week we were inducting the Groen Sebenza interns. 200 unemployed graduates have been recruited into the park, and those are young people from the same communities. We're also employing about 130 people to be environmental monitors. Those initiatives, as part of the stakeholder engagement process, we believe are going to solve this problem gradually. It's a work in progress that we are working on.
And of course, you are trying to attract local, national, and also international investors with the Isimangaliso Wetland Park. And take us through some of your plans to attract tourism, because it took a hit during COVID-19. Places such as St. Lucia were mainly affected by the COVID-19 pandemic. How are you trying to attract those investors and make Isimangaliso Wetland Park a tourism attraction?
Isimangaliso, as you probably know, it is the second largest park next to after the Kruger National Park. It's one area where you can have the bush and beach kind of experience, which you'll rarely find in other areas. So what we have done so far is to make significant improvements in the infrastructure, so that there is an opportunity for investors to see that this is an area where you can invest in. Of course, there are still issues around repairs and maintenance or infrastructure maintenance, but we have left that for the investors to take over and deal with going forward. However, another issue, there is investment that we've made as an entity to just put those facilities to a certain level where you can easily start operating and then start working on the facilities straight away.
Thank you so much.
It's a pleasure.
That is Busiso Kosin, who's the CEO of Isimangaliso Wetland Park, just basically taking us through some of their plans. They are planning to invest or attract investors from across the world and try to revive tourism within the Isimangaliso Wetland Park here in KZN.
Well, thanks very much indeed. ENCA's Latiwe Mdluli there in KZN. Well, hopefully, Rupewa Madzana, that investment can go into some of these very, very strategic places and uplift which is areas which are indeed would have a lot of economic value for the country.
No, absolutely, Devon Murugan there bringing us the very latest in business, speaking about investment and opportunities that could come out of that, including jobs.